The clock in Daniel's office ticked louder than ever that Thursday afternoon, each second echoing through the silence like a warning. He'd been drowning in reports, calls, and endless deadlines all week, but today, something felt off. A strange pull urged him to leave early, though he couldn't explain why. All day, one image kept flashing in his mind: his little girl, Lily. The way she'd clung to him that morning, wrapping her small arms around his neck. "Daddy, don't be late today," she'd whispered, her voice barely louder than a breath. There had been something in her eyes, not just sadness, but fear. Daniel had laughed it off then, ruffling her hair. But now, driving home, her words wouldn't leave him alone. Maybe he was overthinking. Maybe he just missed his family. He decided to pick up flowers for Clara, his wife of 7 years. Things between them hadn't been perfect lately, but he still believed love could find its way back. He pictured Lily's giggle, the sparkle in her eyes when she saw him walk in early for once. That thought made him smile, but when Daniel pushed open the front door, his smile vanished. A faint, muffled sound echoed from down the hall, a sob or a whimper. His stomach tightened. "Lily," he called softly, stepping closer. The sound grew clearer, crying. His heart thundered in his chest as he followed it to Lily's room, and then he froze. Clara stood there, her face twisted with fury, a leather belt raised high in her hand. Little Lily crouched on the floor, arms shielding her face, tears streaking her tiny cheeks. "Clara." Daniel's voice broke, part disbelief, part rage. Daniel's shout thundered through the house like an explosion. Clara flinched, the belt slipping from her hand as her eyes went wide. "Daniel, it's not what it looks like," she stammered. But Daniel didn't hear her. The sound of Lily's crying drowned everything else out. His world cracked apart in that instant. His little girl, his sunshine, his reason for working late nights, his laughter after long days, was shaking in fear, her skin marked and bruised. He rushed to her, dropping to his knees and pulling her close. Lily buried her tiny face into his chest, sobbing as if her heart might break, his arms wrapped around her trembling body. "It's okay, baby. Daddy's here now," he whispered, voice breaking. "No one's going to hurt you again, I promise." Clara's voice trembled. "Daniel, please, you don't understand. She was being difficult." He turned to her, fury and heartbreak tangled in his throat. "She's a child, Clara, our child, and you—" His voice cracked. "You were supposed to protect her." That night, Daniel didn't sleep. He sat beside Lily's bed, watching her chest rise and fall, his eyes red from silent tears. Memories flooded him, her first steps, her giggles on the swing, the way she'd run into his arms shouting, "Daddy!" How could the woman he once trusted, the mother of his child, be the one to hurt her? The following days were the hardest of his life. Clara begged, cried, pleaded for forgiveness. But Daniel knew something inside him had shattered beyond repair. He filed for separation and focused on helping Lily heal. He found her a gentle therapist, someone who could help her find her smile again. But healing didn't come easy. Lily grew quiet. She'd flinch when someone raised their voice or moved too suddenly. At night, Daniel would wake to her muffled cries. He realized her wounds ran deeper than bruises. They had carved themselves into her little heart. So he made her a promise. He would be her protector, her safe place, her shield from the world. He reshaped his life around her, worked fewer hours, cooked her favorite meals, held her hand through therapy sessions, never missing one. Slowly, like a flower after a storm, Lily began to smile again. But it wasn't simple. There were days Daniel wanted to give up. Days when Lily refused to speak, nights when she cried herself to sleep, and he cried quietly beside her, guilt twisting inside him. He battled anger at Clara and at himself for not seeing the signs sooner. Then, months later, one quiet evening, as Daniel tucked Lily into bed, Lily's voice was soft that night, barely a whisper in the dark. "Daddy, you came home early that day," she said, her little fingers curling around his hand. "You saved me." Daniel's chest tightened as tears slid down his cheeks. He leaned in, kissing her forehead gently. "And I'll always save you, sweetheart," he whispered. "No matter what." Years passed. The pain faded, but the memory stayed, not as a wound, but as a reminder of strength. Lily grew taller, braver, more alive. She learned to laugh again, to trust again, to dream without fear. The scars never vanished, but they no longer defined her. They became proof of how far she had come. And Daniel, he became more than just a father. To Lily, he was her protector, her anchor, her quiet hero. He didn't chase revenge or let bitterness consume him. Instead, he chose love, the kind that rebuilds what was broken and heals what was hurt. He raised Lily with patience and tenderness, teaching her that no pain could steal her future. He taught her that strength wasn't about never falling, it was about standing up again, together. Years later, in a bright gym filled with proud faces, Lily stood on stage at her high school graduation. Her voice trembled as she looked out into the crowd, her eyes finding Daniel's. "My dad," she said, pausing as emotion caught her throat, "taught me what love really means. Because when the world hurt me, he never gave up on me." The audience rose to their feet, clapping, cheering, some wiping tears from their eyes. Daniel sat there, overwhelmed, his heart swelling with pride and gratitude. He realized then, even the darkest nights can lead to the most beautiful dawns. Message to viewers. If this story touched your heart, remember, every child deserves love, safety, and someone who never gives up on them. Be that person, patience, compassion, and protection. No child should ever have to suffer in silence. If you see something, speak up. If your heart tells you something is wrong, don't look away. Act. Be the safe place someone desperately needs. Call to action. Be kind always. My friends, if this story touched your heart, share your thoughts in the comments below. What would you have done if you were in Daniel's place? Your words might reach someone who's silently fighting their own battle. And if you believe in spreading kindness and love, please like this video, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another emotional story here on Be Kind Always. Together, let's build a world that heals. One story, one act of kindness at a time.